Two men walk into the same room. Same clothes. Same words. Same posture. One commands instant attention. The other is immediately ignored. Why does this happen? It's not what they say. It's what they signal. Small habits. Invisible to them. Obvious to everyone else. And if you have these habits, the world sees you as someone who can be dismissed. This is the story of 7 deadly habits that destroy respect, and how to eliminate them permanently. 500 years ago, Niccolò Machiavelli watched princes rise and fall. He noticed something nobody else wanted to acknowledge. The rulers who were disrespected, undermined, eventually overthrown, they all shared the same patterns. Small behaviors, repeated daily, creating a signal that broadcast weakness to everyone around them. These habits are still operating today. In your workplace, your relationships, your social circles. And if you have them, you are training people to disrespect you. Today we expose all 7. And more importantly, how to destroy them. The first habit that kills respect is over-explaining yourself. Watch how it works. Someone declines an invitation and immediately launches into a 5-minute explanation. I can't make it tonight because I have to finish this project, and also my mom called and she needs help, and honestly I'm just really tired and I haven't been sleeping well. The listeners check their phones. Their eyes glaze over. Respect drains visibly from the interaction. Now watch the alternative. I can't make it tonight. Silence. No elaboration. The listener accepts it immediately. No questions asked. Respect maintained. Why does over-explaining destroy respect? Because it signals 3 deadly things. Uncertainty, you don't believe your own decision is valid. Weakness, you need external approval to justify yourself. Low status, high status people decide, they don't explain. Think about it. A king says no and the matter is settled. A peasant grovels with explanations. Every word you add after your decision is a plea for validation. The over-explainer says please validate my choice. The sovereign says this is my choice. One is begging. One is declaring. Respect flows toward declarations, not explanations. Your decisions don't need a dissertation. They need finality. Make your decision. State it clearly. Stop talking. Let the silence sit. Do not fill it with justifications. That silence is your power. The second habit is being too available. Here's the brutal economic truth. People don't value what's always available. When you respond instantly to every message, drop everything for anyone who asks, never say no, you are teaching the world that your time has no value. Think about restaurants. The 24-hour diner versus the exclusive reservation-only establishment. Both serve food. Which one commands more respect? Which one do people plan around? Scarcity creates value. Availability signals low worth. When you're always available, 3 things happen. They stop planning around you because you're always there anyway. They stop prioritizing you because they can reach you whenever they want. They stop respecting your time because clearly you don't. Machiavelli wrote that men are less hesitant about harming someone who makes himself loved than one who makes himself feared. Translation: when you're always accessible, you become safe to disrespect. The always available person is furniture. Always there, never noticed, taken for granted. The strategically available person is an event. Create boundaries around your time. Specific hours you're unavailable. Response delays. No without guilt. Make your presence an event. When you show up, be fully present. When you're absent, be completely absent. Let them feel what it's like when you're not there. People value what they can lose. The third habit that destroys respect is seeking validation. Every time you ask what do you think, is this good, do you like it, you hand someone else your power. Watch the transfer happen in real time. The person asking literally gives away pieces of themselves with each validation request. Why does this kill respect? Because it signals that you don't trust your own judgment. Your internal compass is broken. You need external approval to function. You can be controlled through praise or criticism. The moment you seek validation, puppet strings appear. The person you ask becomes the puppeteer. Machiavelli warned that the wise man does at once what the fool does finally. The fool seeks permission. The wise man grants it to himself. Here's the power dynamic you create. The person who needs validation occupies lower status. The person who gives validation occupies higher status. You literally create your own subordination. The fix. Make decisions and own them. Right or wrong, they're yours. Replace what do you think with here's what I decided. You're sharing decisions, not seeking permission. Build internal metrics. Did I execute to my standard? That's the only question. External approval becomes irrelevant. And here's what happens when you stop seeking validation. People start seeking yours. The power dynamic completely reverses. The fourth habit is revealing your plans too early. Here's the brutal reality nobody wants to admit. People don't want you to succeed more than them. When you announce I'm going to start a business, watch what happens beneath the surface support. They plant doubt. Are you sure? That's really risky. They offer discouragement. Most businesses fail in the first year. They give unsolicited advice designed to confuse and delay you. They steal your ideas if they're valuable. They sabotage subtly, introducing obstacles you didn't anticipate. Why? Envy. Your success highlights their stagnation. Fear. If you change, the relationship changes. Control. Your independence threatens their influence. Self-protection. It's easier to discourage you than face their own inaction. Machiavelli understood that the greatest danger often comes from those closest to you. Your inner circle. Family. Friends. The very people you trust can become sources of interference. The fix is simple but difficult. Move in silence. Plan privately. Execute quietly. Reveal only results. Share your plans only with people who have already achieved what you're attempting. They have no reason to sabotage you. Their advice is actually valuable. Let your results speak. Don't announce the diet, show the transformation. Don't announce the business, show the revenue. Don't announce the plan, show the outcome. Talk is cheap. Results are expensive. Invest your energy in the work, not the announcement. The fifth habit that kills respect is being emotionally reactive. When someone provokes you and you immediately explode in anger, you just told everyone watching that you can be controlled. Emotional reactions are predictable. And what's predictable is controllable. You become a button. Push it, get a reaction. Machiavelli wrote that the lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. Emotional provocation is a trap. The reactive man walks right into it every time. Why do people provoke you? To test whether you can be controlled through emotion. To diminish you, because emotional outbursts make you look unstable. To distract you, because while you're reacting, you're not building. For entertainment, because your suffering amuses them. Watch the difference. The reactive person receives provocation, immediately explodes, loses composure, loses respect. The sovereign person receives the same provocation, pauses, calmly assesses, gives a strategic response or none at all, respect maintained. The reactive person becomes a show. The sovereign person becomes a mystery. One is a puppet dancing on strings. The other is stone, unmoved, untouchable. The fix. The pause. Provocation arrives. You feel the pull. You acknowledge it internally, but you pause before responding. Then you choose. Is this worth my energy? Most provocations deserve nothing. Silence is often the most devastating response. Make your emotional state yours. No one gets to dictate it without your permission. The sixth habit is tolerating disrespect. When you accept disrespect without consequence, you teach people to disrespect you. This is Pavlovian conditioning. Behavior allowed becomes behavior reinforced becomes behavior repeated. Silence is not peace. Silence is permission. What happens when you tolerate disrespect? First violation, a small test. A joke at your expense. Mild dismissiveness. You tolerate it. No consequence. Second violation, bigger. An insult. A boundary crossed. You tolerate it again. No consequence. Pattern established. You are now someone who can be disrespected freely. Everyone tests everyone. It's unconscious social calibration. How much can I get away with? Where are the limits? What happens if I push? This is the respect test. And how you respond determines how you're treated from that moment forward. Machiavelli warned that people will push boundaries. It's your job to enforce them. The fix. Identify disrespect immediately. Don't rationalize it away. Don't tell yourself you're overreacting. Trust your gut. Address it calmly and immediately. No emotion, no drama. Just clear consequence. Don't do that again. And be willing to walk away. From anyone. From anything. If they cannot respect boundaries, they cannot have access. You teach people how to treat you. Teach them well. The seventh and most devastating habit is living without purpose. People sense purposelessness the way predators sense wounded prey. And they treat the purposeless as invisible. The person without direction speaks and people's eyes slide past them. They literally don't register. Why does purposelessness destroy respect? Because it signals no direction equals no leadership. No mission equals no value to protect. No standards equals no backbone. No goals equals nothing to lose. The purposeless man is a leaf blowing in the wind, landing nowhere meaningful. The man with purpose is a river carving through stone. Unstoppable. Directed. Powerful. Machiavelli wrote that where the willingness is great, the difficulties cannot be great. Purpose creates gravity. It pulls resources, people, and respect toward you. Here's the respect equation. Purpose creates direction. Direction creates standards. Standards create boundaries. Boundaries create respect. Without purpose, the entire chain collapses. The fix. Answer the hard question. What am I building? Not what do I want, but what am I creating that will outlast me? Then commit to daily action toward it. Purpose without action is fantasy. Action without purpose is chaos. Purpose plus action equals power. Let your purpose guide every decision. Does this serve my mission? Do it. Does this distract from my mission? Eliminate it. Men respect builders. They dismiss consumers. Which one are you? You now know the 7 habits that make people disrespect you. Over-explaining yourself. Being too available. Seeking validation. Revealing your plans. Being emotionally reactive. Tolerating disrespect. Living without purpose. Each one is a chain binding you. Each one broadcasts weakness. The question is no longer what destroys respect. The question is whether you will eliminate these habits or keep them. Elimination is not an event. It's a process. Start with awareness. Which of these 7 do you do most? When? With whom? Don't fix yet. Just observe. Then intervene. The moment you notice the habit, stop mid-sentence if necessary. Replace it with the corrected behavior. About to over-explain. Stop. I'm not available. Done. Reinforce the new pattern until it becomes automatic. The new behavior feels natural. You catch the old habit earlier. Others begin responding differently. Notice the respect shift. When you eliminate these 7 habits, everything changes. In relationships, people who took advantage drift away. You're no longer useful to them. People who respect boundaries draw closer. You're now safe to invest in. In work, colleagues stop interrupting you. Bosses take you more seriously. Opportunities appear because respect attracts resources. In your mind, peace replaces anxiety. Clarity replaces confusion. Strength replaces doubt. Sovereignty replaces dependence. Machiavelli understood that people respect what they perceive, not what you feel. Your internal intentions don't matter. Your habits broadcast your reality. Weak habits create a weak signal that gets ignored. Sovereign habits create a powerful signal that commands attention. You have been broadcasting the wrong frequency. Today you learn to change it. You were not born to beg for respect. You were born to command it. The 7 habits kept you small. Eliminating them makes you untouchable. Machiavelli wrote that it is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. But here's what he really meant. It's better to be untouchable than to need anything from anyone. The men with weak habits get disrespected. The men who eliminate them get feared. Which one will you become?